Good morning, good afternoon everyone, buon pomeriggio a tutti e benvenuti al quinto appuntamento della seconda edizione dei webinar series della Camera di Commercio Italiana in Bulgaria. Welcome everybody to the fifth webinar of the second edition of webinar series of the Italian Chamber of Commerce in Bulgaria, focused on EU funds, European funds. This afternoon, we are going to focus our attention and to focus your attention on two main programs dedicated to two different topics. One, it is connected to the program Citizens, Equality, Rights and Values, and the other one is EU for Health. Of course, we don't have enough time, and as far as we got some requests, we are going to focus first of all on equality, on the program Citizens, Equality, Rights and Values. And later on, if we have enough time, we are going to discuss about the EU for Health. Today with me, you know perfectly who I am. I'm Rosa Cusmano, the Executive Director of the Italian Chamber of Commerce in Bulgaria. And together with me today, we have also Anselmo Caporossi, the Deputy Secretary General of the Italian Chamber of Commerce in Bulgaria. And moreover, it's not just the Deputy Secretary General, but it is he is the head of international cooperation, structural funds and European programs of the Italian Chamber of Commerce in Bulgaria. It's quite a long, let's say, function and roles he has within our offices. Before giving the floor to Anselmo, in order to know how we can use funds within the program mentioned, I remind all of you that the webinar is recorded and we are going to upload the registration on our YouTube channel and on the website of the Italian Chamber of Commerce in Bulgaria. Now, before starting, I think that we have a few seconds to share with you the video of the program we are going to focus on today. And just to share with you this presentation from the European Commission, as you can see. I hope that you see the screen, my screen. So just watch. We are going to have a look to share Citizens, Equality, Rights and Values.
Care.
Participation.
Volunteers.
Community.
Persists. Shocking and everywhere.
Anti-Gypsyism.
SERV is an EU funding program which fights against all forms of racism and hatred and discrimination.
The SERV program stands for Citizens, Equality, Rights and Values. Union values.
Cultivating rights and the rule of law, which we see very much in the fight against hate crime, for example. The second one is about equality, rights, and gender equality, which is very much around the promoting of non-discrimination and the fight against discrimination.
The very important is citizens' engagement and participation. And the last one, it's fight against violence, and especially the gender-based violence.
The program will provide operational funding and project funding to different organizations across Europe, and will especially give access to smaller organizations who couldn't normally access this kind of funding through the sub-grants from the program's main beneficiaries. It provides funding to organizations and initiatives across Europe.
So some of the calls, for example, they are really more directly addressed at civil societies. Generally speaking, the program also really tries to encourage participation of municipalities, public bodies, as well as even the private sector. You can either reach out to your contact point, or you do it independently and you look out for the EU funding and tenders portal. You can just access the SERV website and find the contacts of all contact points.
Thank you so much to all for your attention and your availability. Basically, the video, as you said, it is connected to the program, to the specific program, but it's important also to go a little bit deeper into this discussion, into this program. Thanking you so much for attending today, and moreover, thank those who will be connected sooner by watching our registration on our YouTube channel. So what's the main purposes, the main objectives, and where we are going to what we are going to reach with this program are the topic and the thematic that my colleague Anselmo is going to shortly present to you. So thanks, Anselmo, and the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Rosa, and thanks a lot for your attention to all the participants. Actually, I will introduce briefly which is the main structure and the main pillars of this very important program. Why very important? Yes, because actually is not, yes, it's well known. Even in the previous program, period, we had a very similar program that was working the same topics like the current chair program, the Citizen Equality, Rights and Value program, that is mainly based on protection and promotion of rights as value of the European Union. Actually, this we could say practically that this is an expression of the values settled up by the Treaty of the Constitution of the European Union. So the European Union wants to invest resources, finance resources, to promote across Europe, across its member states, across different actors, that then we will see who can participate to this program, initiative, projects, and action that can sustain and develop open, right-based, democratic, equal, and inclusive society. So, want to foster, want to support an open dialogue between the different actors that can share, first of all, share values, vision on how the European values based on civil society and democratic process can be practically implemented. So this is the main focus, the main objective of the program. Now we will gonna see how this program it's work and which are the main structure of the program. Actually, the program is based on 4 main strengths. Let's say 4 main priorities, strengths. For the new program period that started this year, that since 2021 till 2027. So the first strand, the first one is equality, rights, and gender equality. And this is focusing on the promotion of the rights of the non-discrimination, so action that can be against racism, for example, xenophobia, and so on. Equality, so it's meaning mainly about gender equality. And toward all forms of non-discrimination, in any cases, in any sector, or toward any target groups. The second strand is to foster and to strengthen a more active citizen engagement and participation. What does it mean? Citizen engagement, and participation, it's meaning on the daily life of the European institution. It's mean that to bring the citizen, the common citizen, so can be young people, can be pensioners, can be workers, everybody, citizen, all the citizen, more close to the European institution. I mean, to share, not only to acquire knowledge how the European Union works, how the European institution work and provide support, but also to share and to express their point of view, their vision on the current challenges and the future challenges, or the future development of the communities in the European Union. So this is a very emblematic and a very important strength. In this case, they want, even this strength want to address and to higher the awareness among citizens about the common European history and memories also. Memories is much more related to several important events that in the past was cutting Europe, and even from these events was roll up and develop the European democracy. And this is an extremely important topic. The third strand is focused on the past program that was called Daphne, that it's mainly addressing fight violence, including gender-based violence. So this is a topic much more focusing on the gender violence that is currently among the European society in all European member states is a still very strong problem that in many communities it's running. The last one, it's the union values, is not only to protect, but only to promote the knowledge, the awareness, to understand which are the union values. Union values, its meaning, all the values that are based on the base as a pillar of a civil society, democratic society. So these are the four strands, very important to understand, and to understand which are the area of intervention of the program, which can participate and which are the eligible countries. Actually, the eligible countries are all the European member states, including some new countries that are candidates to enter in the European Union, as Macedonia, Serbia, Albania, and others, Moldova, and so on. So to be eligible, participants should be legal entities, so it's not allowed to participate from individual person, for example, and should be established in one of the eligible countries, as I said, the EU member state, and the other countries that are included by the program. The actors, the participants, the beneficiaries of the programs are mainly public authorities, can be at a local, national, regional level, public authority, engaged in different topics connected with the specific project, or municipalities, for example, or association of municipalities. Then civil society organization, university, institute related to research, academies, or universities, or center for research, for example. And then also different kind of organization. I would like to make some concrete example. A cultural organization. Cultural organization, its meaning not only focus strictly in culture, but with a widespread vision of cultural organization. Or, for example, can be, just to make an example, in Bulgaria, there are Cittadini, so-called organization, cultural organization, when they implement different activity, but on the end of the day, who participate in these events organized by Cittadini? The citizen that live in those areas, can be a quarter for a city, for a town like Sofia, or maybe just a village, people that live in a village. So the participants, it's a really wide range of organization. I made an example for Bulgaria. I would like to make an example for Italy, for example, which could be this kind of organization. First of all, many NGO, Italian NGO that operate as a culture organization, but then also the cooperative, the social cooperative in Italy, that there are many that work in different fields, but the social cooperative, for example, they are eligible to this program. And in the previous program, many Italian social cooperatives were financed, for example. The program provide, of course, like other programs managed by the European Commission, provide the constitution and composition of international consortium. So one project can be submitted always by a lead applicant of one consortium that is composed by different organizations coming from different European member states. Actually, also in this case, as I said this morning for another program, each call for proposal will specify, according to the which strength is published the call for proposal, how many countries, the minimum number of how many countries, and the minimum number of participants, of partners, and the maximum number. So, for example, generally speaking, an average number is always 3 participants, 3 different participants that compose the consortium, coming from 3 different European member states. Of course, the lead partner should be always an organization that has, first of all, an experience, consolidated experience in the topic of the project. So it's not just constituted 1 year ago, but should have several years of working experience, having realized different initiatives or projects. And much better is an added value if this organization has, for example, previous experience with projects financed by the European Union. This is extremely important. Of course, this is also important for the other participants, but the participation to the program is not restricted only to those organizations that has previous experience with the European programs and funds, but is an added value, let's say, in this way. The consortium composition, as we see, I said that minimum should be about at least 2 applicants, but it's more common to have, let's say, larger composition of the consortium. 3-4 participant partner per project. Then again, depends by the specific requirements of the call for proposal, and then about the specific action and the expected result of the project. This it's the composition always should be prepared, focusing in what the call for proposal asks, which are the specific requirements, and from the other side, to make an evaluation, very precise evaluation about which are the activity that will be developed by the project, and which are the results that the project want to achieve. In this case, we can define which kind of partner we need. Once we have defined which partner we need, we can define, for example, not only which is the result, but which is the impact of the project. If this impact should be restricted to a certain macro European region, or to involve larger region, so to involve more partners, because the transnational dimension of the projects are very important. What does it mean, the transnational dimension? I would like to make a concrete example. For example, one culture organization want to realize one, let's say, festival, culture festival. But these festivals, or doesn't matter now if it's about music, about dance, about art, painting, so on, so on. Let's say one festival. This festival, for its final audience, and how is it is a thought and the structure will be developed at local level. Let's say one region of one country, and the potential audience of this project will be at the local level or regional level. In this case, this project as a festival could be financed, but its impact, it's only about local and regional level, has no any kind of transnational and European dimension, so could not be eligible to the program. So in the case that they realize one festival, for example, about one topic, and they can share this topic with other organizations that are from other countries, and each one of them realize in different periods of the years the same festival. So this is there is a huge impact at European level. This could be eligible to the program. This is a very simple example just to understand what does it mean, the European dimension. The European dimension is connected and related to the impact that the project can have. So in this case, which are the funding rate and the maximum grant amount? Again, this will be clearly defined by each call for proposal, because each strand, for each strand that we mentioned before, it will be published a specific call for proposal. In this call for proposal will be defined all the requirements, which are the beneficiaries, which is the composition of the consortium, which is the minimum and the maximum number of partners of the consortium, how many countries and has to participate, and so on. So we can say that from a minimum, the project could benefit of a grant, and the minimum amount is 75,000 euros. And actually, there are still not defined by the program limitation about the maximum grant. This will be specified by each call for proposal. But we can say that the minimum grant amount would be 75,000 euros. The cost of the project that will be reimbursed with the funding rate fixed in the grant agreement, that the average grant funding rate is around 90% of all eligible costs. So if all the project will cost, let's say, 100,000 euro, the grant will be 90,000 euro. For several specific action of the strand, the program provide a lump sum that will be defined by the specific call for proposal. What does it mean, lump sum? The lump sum, it's a form that very often the European Commission use for different programs. Mainly it's addressed to small projects, because the beneficiary can receive for its project a lump sum that is defined. Can be 30,000 euro, 40,000 euro, 50,000 euro. And in this case, when it will be the reporting of this expensive, they should not justify exactly in the details all the expenses, but let's say as a macro report. This is, let's say, a form that is conventionally used for small projects. According now, which are the budget categories and the cost eligible to the funds? Again, this can change call by call, because for each strand we can have different kind of let's say project cost according to what the project has to do as an activity and what want to achieve. In this case, some of the expenses can change, but generally speaking, as a framework, general framework that can be defined in the first step, is that the expenses are more related to the personal cost that is involved in the project. It's meaning one organization can put work for this project, its employees. The cost of these employees will be reimbursed. Then other costs that are directly or directly or indirectly involved with the personnel, with the staff. They can hire, for example, temporary hire some expert to implement some project action, and this will be financed, and so on. Then we have the subcontracting cost. The subcontracting cost, let's say, are costs that are related to a really very large, wide type of cost. For example, for one project, they have to make one specific desk research. Just an example. They need to take the consulting service one company. So this is a subcontracting, could be financed. Or for example, they have to organize one seminar. They have to pay lectures, speakers, and this could be financed. They have to rent a room, a big room for a workshop, for one event. This could be financed. Or for example, to make project brochure, or to make project website, the website dedicated to inform the audience about the project, its activities. This could be financed. And different other type of costs can be identified as subcontracting costs. Then we have purchase costs. The purchase costs are mainly connected with the travel as subsistence. Why travel as subsistence? Travel as subsistence generally are costs related to the partner meeting. In this kind of project, always for a period, let's say, let's make an example. We have a project with duration of 2 years. In these 2 years, we have 3 partner meetings. One in the beginning as a kickoff meeting of the project, one in the middle, an interim partner meeting, and one in the end as a final meeting. In this meeting, the partner meet each other, each time in different location. For example, if we have one project with Italian partner, Bulgarian, then French partner, and Hungarian, for example, one time they meet in Italy, one time in Hungary, and one time in Bulgaria. What is the purpose of this meeting? The purpose of this meeting is that the partner can meet, generally it's meetings that have a duration of 2 or 3 days, no more, where we share ideas. They evaluate the project progress, what it was done, what it's missing to done, which are potential difficulties, potential barriers or problems, and they discuss how to find solution or potential challenges or decision that they should take together, how to proceed to better implement the project and to achieve the planned results. This is the meaning of the partner meetings. Then in the purchase cost, we have equipment. Equipment generally, if it's really necessary, are small equipment that would be both with the project. For example, computers, a printer, this kind of equipment, or maybe a camera because they should make some specific reportage. This kind of let's say small, very small investment as equipment, or some works or services that are always connected with the project, but they have not a big impact. For example, the organization of a conference or seminar with high involvement of participants, of the audience of the project, can bring different costs that are not only related to the rent of a location, but also about the facilities and so on, all the other promotional communication materials and all the other things. Then we have the indirect costs. The last one, the indirect cost, generally is a rate, a flat rate that is calculated about 7% of the total direct cost. It's what does it mean, flat rate? That the Commission reimburses this cost, that they cover the expenses, for example, of daily expenses. So phone, post, fax, lights, heat, and so on for one office. And the beneficiary has not to report, to prove these expenses with official documents. This is, let's say, the general and the main the main costs that can be are eligible by the program. Now, to make, let's say, some example about which could be activity that could be funded by the program, about one project, are very large. There is not only a specific clear list. There is, let's say that the call for proposal and the program give a general indication which could be the activity. Generally are a capacity building awareness raising activity that have the aim to increase the knowledge of the audience. So in this case could be events, workshops, seminar, conferences, or for example, internal meetings, that could be implemented face-to-face or even online. Actually, the recommendation of the European Union, as far as possible, is to implement all these kind of events online due to the restriction of provided by the coronavirus. The other activity is even connected to exchange of good practice, for example, or development of new approach to the specific project topic, or for example, to realize activity that could foster mutual learning by the participants, and some analysis of a certain let's say topic connected with the project. In this case, even including data collection, data analysis, survey, desk research, and so on. And of course, all the communication activity that can be expressed by dissemination of information, campaign to raise awareness about the citizens, or media campaign or online campaign, real campaign, face-to-face, production, distribution of brochure, and so on, of what is connected with the communication and with the dissemination. So, briefly, this is the structure of the program. This is the founding rules, which could be eligible as participants, which are the activity that a project could define to be eligible, and all the main, let's say, project strand for which the program is focused. Do you have some question or comments related to what was exposed?
Let's see thanks a lot, Anselmo. Let's see the chat if somebody would like to ask some question to us. Anyway, I will kindly remind you that you can write to us as well, contact us at the same time, because it's not enough the time to present all the axes, all the examples. Of course, Anselmo was quite concrete in giving a general overview of the program. But let's say our role is to get requests in order to present a strong project, and we are able to do it. We are able to support you in presenting, in supporting, in writing as well the project proposal, and all the activities connected to a project proposal within this kind of program. Somebody is kindly invited to ask question. I take also the opportunity, sorry for not doing at the beginning, but I want to remind that all the webinar series with the hashtag EU funds were and are organized by us, the Italian Chamber of Commerce in Bulgaria, in strong cooperation with Venice Promex, the agency of Veneto region, focused on internationalization of small and medium enterprises of the region itself, and Union Camere Veneto with its delegation in Brussels. So thanks a lot to our colleagues, our Italian and European colleagues. If there's something, and I think, Anselmo, that we are quite a lot on time with the webinar today, we'll let all participants to follow us and watch again the registration and contact us on europa@camcommit.bg, where Anselmo and we are going to be reactive and proactive in replying immediately to your request. And I think that we can close this information webinar. I remind you that we are going to close this second edition of the webinar series with the last meeting, online meeting, let's say informative meeting regarding the transportation sector later this Friday. So thank you so much. Thanks, Anselmo, for being so active.
Everybody.
And thanks a lot, and buona serata a tutti. Grazie.
Good evening to everybody. Thanks a lot.